What's up guys, and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to talk about the GFX 50R, my medium format camera. I'm in love with this camera. It takes some stellar images. It's a workhorse. I love the ergonomics, but there are a few things that I don't like about this camera. 5 things in particular. So let's talk about them. First things first, let's just address it off the bat. The grip of this camera is really small. You can't see it here because I have the small rig L plate grip with it, with the walnut wooden extender, and I do not regret buying this because it gives me a lot more versatility when using the camera, when I'm mounting it both vertically, horizontally, and it also gives me a better grip. If you're getting into medium format and you're looking at this camera, trust me, you need to get some sort of grip so you can handle it better. The second thing to take note when it comes to this camera is that, of course, it's a very expensive camera. And if we take a look at the huge sensor that's hiding inside of this beast, it does not have a sensor shield. It's an older camera, but my R6 Mark II has a sensor shield, and it makes me feel more safe when handling it. And of course, they can't implement it in this older version of the GFX 50R, but if the rumors are true and a GFX 50R Mark II is on its way, please implement this, Fujifilm. Another issue that I have with this camera is the menu system, and I'm not talking about the layout here. I'm talking about when you press the menu button, it always by default jumps way down to the My Menu tab. Now let's say you're at a wedding or a venue or an event and you're shooting. You're in the menu system, you're changing things around, and all of a sudden you have a moment that you really want to catch. Go back to shooting, and then you go back into the menus, and it doesn't go back to where you last left it. It always jumps back down to the My Menu tab, and it's an annoyance. It disrupts your workflow, and it's something that could easily be changed and adjusted with a firmware update. Now the next issue on my list is the film simulations. I love the film simulations. They look great. You can adjust and you can customize them the way you like them. But if I press this button here above the quick menu button, it always by default jumps up to C1. Now let's say I'm in C3. I'm shooting black and white. That's where I have across screen, and I accidentally press this button. It always jumps back up to C1. It disrupts your workflow. It's a nuisance, and once again, this is something that could easily be adjusted with a firmware update. Issue number 5 here. It's a smaller one, but it does still disrupt your workflow, and it's the shutter timer. When I'm shooting landscapes or if I'm doing real estate, I usually set a 2-second timer because I don't want any camera shake. I want the images to be crisp and clear if I'm shooting with a lower shutter speed. But if the camera power is down, if it goes into power saving mode, or if you turn off the camera or you're moving locations, when you turn it back on, it's by default turned off again. So if you set a 2-second timer and the camera turns off and you're moving, doing whatever, you turn it back on, it's off by default. Why it does this, I don't know. I would like it to be at the setting that I left it the last time I used it. Now the final thing here is also a smaller issue, but still it's something that could easily be adjusted, and I think it would be beneficial to the photographers that use this camera. The menu system does not allow the touch functionality to be used when you're in the full menu system. In a quick menu system, it works fine, and when you're looking at your images, pinching in, pinching out, it works fine. It's really responsive and it's really good. But when you're in the full menu system, it does not work. Why, I don't know, once again. But these are some of the issues that I have with this camera. Now, putting these things aside, I love the camera. It works really good. The images coming out of this camera is just something else. Anybody that owns this camera knows this. It's amazing. But please, Fujifilm, if you are listening, give us old GFX 50R users a smaller firmware to address these issues so we can have a better workflow when we use this camera. And if not, make sure to implement these changes moving forward with the GFX 50R. That's all from me this time around. Goodbye for now. If you like what you heard, please share, like, and subscribe. More content coming soon. Peace out, everybody.